I'd been practicing yoga on and off for about 3 or 4 years outside of Horsham, and I had had some tantalising opportunities to try Ashtanga during that time. 2 years ago I found Iriness and started here with Irina. I came to Iriness with a few injuries caused by maybe yoga teachers getting a bit carried away and pushing me a bit too fast and too quick, and it's been great to have a teacher help me overcome those injuries and maybe work with them because of her knowledge of anatomy and physiology. You feel that you're always in a very safe pair of hands to develop your practice. What I really enjoy about Ashtanga, well, there are several things actually. When I first started yoga and Ashtanga, it was really the physical practice I enjoyed. I enjoyed using my body, gaining strength, flexibility. But I think being here, it's given me the opportunity to learn and understand a bit more about the sort of wider sense of yoga. So I've learned a bit more about the pranayama, the breathing side of yoga, and yoga philosophy. And it's been given me a much more holistic approach to my practice, and has just made the whole practice more complete, I suppose. It's a lovely studio to practice in. It's bright, it's light, it's got air conditioning when it's hot, it's got underfloor heating when it's freezing outside, so it's always pleasant to be here. And there's a very diverse mix of people who practice, so it's been a pleasure meeting new friends during the time that we come together. Something that appeals particularly to me is the Mysore style of practice that Ashtanga is practiced within. So we do have lead classes, but some of the classes, or really yoga is a self-practice, Ashtanga yoga is a self-practice opportunity. So we come together on some of the sessions and practice in our own time, at our own pace, in our own space, and then we get the individual corrections and then get to develop our practice as and when we're ready to do it. It also means that if your own lifestyle doesn't tie up with the timings of all the classes, you can practice at home, and you can get you practice as far as you can, and then when you come back you learn more, you can add that into your practice too. Practicing Ashtanga yoga has made me think a little bit more about some wider issues about looking after myself and my body so that I can actually be sort of more effective outside of yoga. It's probably calmed me down, calmed my thoughts down, not just in a physical way but in a mental way. So when I've been agitated, working very, very hard, you know, and have what seems like a busy, constant life, it's let me think outside of that and realise that there is space, and that actually you can get more done and calm down if you just realise that there is more time and space in your mind than you perhaps realise. Practising pranayama has actually been physically good for me, as well as mentally, I think. You do feel actually very physically engaged after a pranayama exercise. You know, there's a lot of oxygen that has been taken in, but physically, well, I have asthma, and I think it's helped me learn how to control any wheezing I might get, and probably strengthen my lungs as well, I imagine. My favourite part, I won't say shavasana, lying down at the end of doing yoga. No, I enjoy all of it, but I always find if I arrive, say I'm in the evening and it's been a long day at the office, you think you're going to be really, really tired, and then 15 minutes into the practice, you suddenly realise that you have so much energy and just a space to use what's left in your body after the day, and it sort of breeds energy rather than wipes you out. So I feel more energetic, or you know, I have more life after a yoga practice. You might feel physically tired. I tend to sleep really, really well, but it doesn't tire you out at the beginning. So if you're feeling a bit under the weather, a bit weary, I never find it 10 minutes into the practice and you're not aware of that anymore. I really enjoy the diverse group of people that I see coming in and out of the studio here. You know, there are men, women of all ages and all backgrounds, and it just shows that there isn't one type of person who should practice yoga. So I would recommend it to anyone, you know, from a teenager to a elderly man or woman who just wants to maintain or improve flexibility. There's something for everyone in the practice, and you go at your own speed. You know, you don't have to be crazy bendy or strong or be able to turn yourself inside out, even though Irina might be able to do those things and some people can, but there is something in yoga for everyone. There is a lot in yoga for everyone, so I'd recommend it for everyone to try. It might seem difficult at first. There are some unusual names, there are some unusual movements and some unusual positions. But what I've found is that actually if you trust Irina and start at the beginning and practice and practice and practice, do you know what, it comes to all of us. And certainly things I thought I would never be able to do, suddenly they click into place, and you can master them, and that's very rewarding. It's kind of mentally rewarding as well as physically rewarding, I find, yoga, which is nice, rather than going to a sort of legs, bums and tums class at the gym, which can be fun, but it's not particularly rewarding in a mental way.